Good morning. You weren't born to be average. You were built different. This isn't just morning motivation. It's a wake-up call to an unbreakable mindset. Built different means you refuse comfort. You embrace grind culture and mental toughness. You don't wait for permission. You create your own path. You don't beg for motivation. You live by discipline and self-discipline. You don't make excuses. You execute relentlessly. You think success mindset is a luxury? It's a requirement. Winners don't fold under pressure. They thrive in it. They turn pain into purpose and setbacks into fuel. That's built different motivation. Staring failure in the face and saying, keep coming. You owe yourself the legacy motivation to rise and grind every morning. When the alarm rings, you attack it. You don't hit snooze on your dreams. You respond with action. One more rep, one more hour, one more sacrifice. That's how an unbreakable mindset forms. Let me be clear. Talent alone won't carry you. Connections won't carry you. Only unwavering discipline and a winner mindset carry you through the darkest hours. Built different means you wake up early when nobody's watching. You train your focus when distractions swarm. You sharpen your mental toughness when comfort beckons. This is your identity now. No excuses, only execution. This morning, decide that average is dead. Decide that you will outwork, outlast, and outgrow every obstacle. Because being built different isn't a tagline. It's your life. It's the foundation of an unbreakable mindset that breaks limits and builds lasting legacy. So wake the giant inside. Embrace the grind. Own your morning. You were built different. Now prove it. Built different means your mind refuses limits. Mental toughness is not a slogan. It's your daily code. You don't ask, can I push further? You decide, I will push further. That shift from maybe to will is the success mindset that shatters every barrier. Limits live only in weak thinking. Each time discomfort rises, early mornings, late nights, fatigue, you choose discipline over ease. That choice compounds into unbreakable resilience. Grind mindset demands you embrace adversity. When failure whispers stop, your mind roars, prove me wrong. When obstacles stand tall, you adapt and advance, converting setbacks into fuel. Self-discipline builds routines that outlast motivation. Waking before sunrise, training focus through repeated habits, studying while others scroll, refining skills when others rest. This repetition sculpts mental toughness. Built different motivation isn't glamorous. It's waking up when the world sleeps and grinding in silence. You train your brain to see pain as preparation and struggle as the blueprint for growth. Excuses are the enemy of this mindset. Every I can't is a lie eroding potential. Instead, adopt I will, anchored by discipline. Speak daily. My mind is a weapon. I break limits. That inner dialogue, hardened by relentless effort, drives you forward. When distraction calls, your mindset replies, not today. When fear knocks, you answer, bring it. This is how you own a winner mindset. Legacy motivation demands you think long-term. You don't chase short wins. You build a foundation that outlives you. The mindset that breaks limits, refuses comfort, and clings to purpose. Every action now shapes the legacy. Habits of discipline, displays of mental toughness, demonstrations of grind culture. Success mindset means you see failure as feedback and use it to refine your path. Decide right now. Average thinking is dead. Embrace the unbreakable mindset that breaks limits. Anchor your identity in discipline, self-discipline, and relentless focus. This is built different motivation. Today you prove it by pushing beyond perceived limits and laying the groundwork for a lasting legacy. Built different isn't a label you wear. It's the result of surviving and thriving under pressure. Your mindset must be battle-tested, forged in adversity, proven by challenge. When life pushes you to the edge, you don't shrink, you rise. You don't break, you become stronger. That's pressure-proven resilience. Pressure exposes weakness. It reveals who's not ready. But built different people don't collapse under strain. They adapt and conquer. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle is an invitation. Prove your resilience. When circumstances tighten like a vice, you tighten your resolve. You welcome struggle as the arena where champions are made. Mental toughness isn't discovered in comfort, it's uncovered in chaos. When fatigue screams, you push one more rep. When plans fall apart, you rebuild with fiercer determination. When others quit, you stand taller. That's battle-tested mindset. You don't wait for ideal conditions. You create victory amid disorder. Pressure-proven means you train your mind like an athlete trains the body. You condition it through daily rituals, embracing tasks that challenge you, seeking opportunities that scare you, pursuing goals that seem out of reach. You invite pressure because you know it polishes your edge. You don't avoid hard conversations, tough decisions, or high-stakes moments. You lean into them, knowing they prove what you're made of. Every time you choose action over comfort under strain, you reinforce the belief, I am unbreakable. Every hardship overcome becomes a testimonial in your inner archive, evidence that you're built for more. Doubt loses its voice when confronted with repeated victories over adversity. Your confidence grows because it's battle-proven. Battle-tested resilience also means compassion for others in struggle. You understand pain, so you lead with empathy, lifting fellow warriors while maintaining your grind. But you never excuse weakness in yourself. You hold your standards high, knowing that only through continuous challenge do you stay pressure-proven. Carry this creed. Pressure is the pathway to power. When your environment shrinks, your mind expands. When you face storms, you anchor deeper. When you stand in the fire, you don't burn, you become steel. That is the hallmark of Built Different, a mindset that doesn't flinch at pressure but thrives in it. Built Different means you carry an inner dog, a relentless force inside you that refuses weakness. This isn't about aggression towards others. It's about unleashing the raw strength of your mindset. When you tap that inner dog, you access a level of mental toughness and self-discipline few ever know. Your inner dog thrives on challenge. It snarls at comfort. It hungers for growth. It thrives in grind culture. But too many bury that force under fear, doubt, and hesitation. Today, you set it free. You decide, no more holding back. You unleash that part of you that demands more, fights harder, and never accepts good enough. Unleashing the inner dog starts with self-awareness. You must recognize when you're shrinking from pressure or hiding behind excuses. That moment of hesitation, when you think, maybe I should rest, or maybe this is too hard, that's the leash around your potential. Built Different mindset means you snap that leash. You lean into discomfort and say, show me more. Mental toughness builds when you feed your inner dog consistent challenges. Seek tasks that scare you, cold exposure, intense workouts, high-stakes goals, tough conversations, deadlines that demand your best. Each time you step into that arena, you prove to yourself, I am stronger than I thought. That belief compounds and strengthens your resilience. You become pressure-proven, battle-tested, relentless. Self-discipline is the collar that guides your inner dog, ensuring its power is channeled, not wasted. You create daily rituals, early wake-ups, focused study sessions, disciplined nutrition, purposeful workouts, targeted skill building. Every ritual feeds your inner dog, sharpening its instincts. You don't let it roam wild in chaos. You direct its energy toward your biggest goals. That is how you align raw strength with strategic execution. Unleashing your inner dog also demands fierce self-honesty. You confront limiting beliefs. I'm not ready. I lack talent. I don't have time. You challenge and dismantle each lie. You replace them with truths anchored in discipline. I will prepare. I will outwork. I will prioritize. That shift rewires your mindset, feeding the inner dog with certainty and purpose. When setbacks hit, your inner dog responds by pivoting, not folding. You've trained it to see failure as fuel. Each obstacle becomes a chance to prove your resilience anew. You fight through fatigue, frustration, and fear because your inner dog doesn't negotiate, it executes. It understands that success mindset isn't built on comfort, but on enduring and overcoming. Built different motivation demands you keep that dog unleashed daily. You don't cage it on weekends or holidays. You honor it with consistency. Show up even when motivation fades. Remember, inner strength isn't a switch you flip only when inspired. It's a standard you uphold regardless of mood. That unwavering presence signals to your subconscious, you are unbreakable. In the pursuit of legacy motivation, unleashing your inner dog sets you apart. Others see discipline as chore. You see it as freedom. They fear pressure. You crave it. They stop when it's hard. You accelerate. That fierce drive forms the core of an unbreakable mindset. People respect results, not intentions. Your results come from continually unleashing and harnessing that inner force. To summon this power, use affirmations that resonate at a visceral level. My inner dog is unleashed. I dominate challenges. Speak them until doubt grows silent. Anchor them with action. Every rep, every decision, every sacrifice reinforces that identity. You become known to yourself as someone who doesn't back down, a warrior in grind culture. Beware complacency. The inner dog can grow lethargic if not tested. Continuously raise the bar. Bigger goals, higher standards, tougher routines. Seek environments that push you. Surround yourself with ambitious individuals. Take on projects that stretch your limits. Embrace discomfort as the playground of progress. That is how you keep your inner dog fierce and sharp. Remember, unleashing the inner dog isn't about reckless aggression. It's about controlled intensity. Channel your energy into purposeful action, into building habits that compound into greatness. Let every challenge trigger your instinct to rise, not retreat. Let every struggle awaken deeper reserves of strength. That is the essence of Built Different, a mindset trained to unleash, guide, and amplify its inner force. Decide now. You will no longer quiver at the first sign of difficulty. You will unleash the inner dog, armed with discipline and clarity. You will attack each day with ferocity and focus. You will let your unbreakable mindset roar through every obstacle. This is how winners operate. They don't just possess raw power. They know how to unleash it strategically toward their vision. Built Different means you see pain not as punishment, but as your blueprint for greatness. Pain is the architect of resilience. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of struggle carves the foundation of your unbreakable mindset. Embrace it. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the tutor. When you face discomfort, whether in the gym, in business, or in life's trials, recognize it as a lesson. Each ache in your muscles after a workout is proof you're building strength. Each failure in your pursuits is evidence you're learning how to win. Pain is your blueprint in action. You map your future success by the trials you endure today. Mental toughness grows when you refuse to back down from pain. When the body screams, stop, you decide, keep going. When your mind begs for comfort, you choose discipline. That choice writes the blueprint. Resilience over retreat. Growth over stagnation. Every time you push through a hard moment, you reinforce the belief that pain shapes progress. Remember, those who avoid pain stay mediocre. Winners lean into the struggle. They wake early despite aching bodies. They tackle challenges that intimidate others. They study when exhaustion tempts them to quit. They launch projects knowing failure is possible. Why? Because they understand success through struggle. They know that pain is temporary, but the growth it yields is permanent. Your blueprint emerges in how you respond to adversity. When criticism cuts deep, you use it to sharpen your focus. When plans collapse, you pivot with fiercer determination. When rejection stings, you let it fuel your hunger. That's resilience motivation, converting every obstacle into opportunity. Pain becomes the raw material, and your mindset becomes the architect. Built Different motivation demands you reframe pain. Stop seeing discomfort as a signal to retreat, and start seeing it as a sign you're on the right path. The deeper the challenge, the stronger the outcome. Hard times aren't derailments, they're the blueprint for breakthroughs. You don't avoid the fire, you walk through it, knowing it tempers you into steel. Self-discipline is your tool to follow the blueprint. When pain hits, self-discipline says, I show up. When weakness whispers, rest now, self-discipline responds, not yet. That consistent response to discomfort engraves the blueprint deeper. You become conditioned to leverage pain rather than fear it. Over time, every struggle reinforces your identity as someone who thrives under pressure. Adversity teaches humility and gratitude. Pain humbles you, reminding you nothing is guaranteed. Gratitude emerges when you recognize that discomfort is forging your capacity to achieve. A gratitude mindset fuels endurance. You learn to appreciate the process because you understand pain's role in sculpting your future. That gratitude anchors resilience. Success mindset requires you to document the lessons from pain. Reflect on past struggles. What did you learn? How did you adapt? Use those lessons to refine your approach. This reflection cements the blueprint. You don't repeat mistakes, you innovate solutions. Your history of overcoming adversity becomes a playbook for future challenges. Reinforcing pain is your blueprint, as both mantra and method. Embrace accountability in pain. When you face failure or setback, resist blaming external factors. Own the outcome, extract the lesson, and adjust. This accountability mindset ensures the blueprint remains aligned with growth. You recognize pain as feedback, not defeat. That distinction is crucial in built different motivation. You transform every hard moment into a step forward. Cultivate community around this principle. Surround yourself with people who honor the blueprint of pain-driven growth. Engage with mentors and peers who've endured similar trials. Share your struggles and insights. This collective resilience amplifies individual toughness. Built different mindset flourishes when you see others thriving through pain, reinforcing your own commitment. Use pain strategically. Set challenges that push your limits. Cold exposure, intense training, ambitious goals. Each intentionally invites discomfort so you can test and expand your capacity. That proactive approach to pain writing strengthens your blueprint. You control the environment of struggle, rather than being victim to random hardship. You design the trials that shape you. Stay vigilant against complacency. Comfort may feel safe, but it erodes the blueprint. When routines become easy, you risk stagnation. Seek new challenges before success becomes comfortable. This ongoing pursuit of higher difficulty cements the unbreakable mindset. You remain battle-tested and pressure-proven. Pain continues to refine you, keeping your blueprint dynamic and evolving. Anchor your purpose deep enough that pain serves it. When you endure sacrifice for a cause greater than yourself, family legacy, community impact, personal mission, you accept pain with resolve. That deeper why makes the blueprint unshakable. You endure hardship, not just for personal gain, but for lasting influence. Pain, then, becomes proof you're investing in something meaningful. Finally, speak truth into your journey. Pain is my blueprint. I grow through struggle. I build resilience with every challenge. Repeat it until doubt fades. Let those words guide your actions. When difficulty arises, recall the blueprint and advance. This internal narrative sustains you when motivation wanes. Built different mindset thrives on this principle. You now understand why pain is your blueprint. You will no longer flee discomfort. You will harness it. You will use adversity as the architect of your unbreakable mindset. Embrace every challenge as a design tool for your legacy. This is how winners operate. They don't avoid pain. They let pain shape their path to greatness. Excuses are the chains that bind potential. Built different means you refuse to doubt yourself. But first, you must refuse to offer excuses. Every excuse you speak strengthens the voice that holds you back. Today, you confront that voice and declare, excuses end now. Excuses sound comforting. I don't have time. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. But comfort kills momentum. In grind culture and success mindset, excuses are poison. Mental toughness demands you recognize excuses as lies dressed up like reasons. You don't negotiate with lies, you dismantle them. When you say, I can't, challenge it immediately. What's the real obstacle? Lack of discipline? Fear of failure? Seeking approval. Identify the root, then attack it with action. Self-discipline is the antidote. You decide to execute, not to explain. That shift from explaining why you can't to doing whatever it takes defines an unbreakable mindset. Excuses thrive in ambiguity. If you lack a clear plan, you justify an action. Build different mindset demands clarity. Define your goals in explicit terms. Break them into daily actions and hold yourself accountable. When you know exactly what you must do each day, there's no room to hide behind maybe later. Every morning, you review your mission and eliminate excuses before they arise. Failure triggers excuses. I failed because. But battle-tested resilience repurposes failure as feedback. Instead of rationalizing defeat, you analyze what went wrong and adjust relentlessly. That's mental toughness. You don't let setbacks birth excuses. You let them fuel your next move. In the language of an unbreakable mindset, this failure is temporary. My discipline is permanent. Excuses also stem from comparison. They have resources I don't, but built different winners outwork constraints. They don't dwell on what others have. They focus on maximizing what they possess. Self-discipline emerges when you commit to leverage every asset, time, effort, creativity without excuse. That transforms scarcity into opportunity, fueling the success mindset. Excuses about environment or circumstances? Recognize that true champions create opportunity within limitations. Instead of lamenting scarcity, you innovate around it. That innovation is born from refusing excuses. When you say no resources, you also say no growth. Reject that. Declare, I will find a way. That declaration, backed by relentless action, dismantles the enemy of excuses. Excuses love comfort zones. Comfortable routines lull you into passive existence. Built different means you embrace discomfort, so excuses lose their appeal. You condition yourself to choose discomfort daily. Early wake-ups, intense work sessions, tough conversations, so excuses have nowhere to live. Each act of self-discipline shrinks the space where excuses can thrive. Language matters. The words you speak shape your identity. Replace I can't with how can I. Replace if only with next time I will. That simple linguistic shift rewires your mind towards solutions, not justifications. That's part of the unbreakable mindset. You speak in terms of progress and execution, never in terms of limitation. Surround yourself with accountability. Built different winners, enlist peers or mentors who call out excuses. When you commit publicly, share your goals with a trusted circle. You create pressure to perform rather than to explain. Accountability transforms excuses into motivation. Knowing others expect your actions drives you to follow through. Excuses also mask fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Confront fear by naming it. I am afraid to fail. Then face it with action. I will launch, even if failure comes. That courage weakens fear's hold and collapses excuses. In an Eric Tonis-style mindset, you stare fear down and say, you don't scare me, I was built different. Every day, audit your thoughts. Notice when excuses creep in. A fleeting thought of, I'll rest today. This is too hard. I'm not ready. Immediately replace it with a call to action. I will push today. Hard is my training ground. I'll prepare by doing, not by waiting. This mental discipline ensures excuses never catch you unguarded. Excuses in relationships or commitments? Built different means you honor your word. If you promise to train, to study, to deliver, You do it without fail. That integrity reinforces self-trust, making future excuses less likely. Your identity becomes someone who executes regardless of circumstances. And that identity is the foundation of an unbreakable mindset. Excuses often sound noble. I'm doing this for my family, so I can't risk more. But true sacrifice balances risk with action. You ask, how can I provide and still pursue greatness? You find the path that serves both. That refusal to accept easy justifications aligns with legacy motivation. You refuse excuses because you owe your future self and those you serve a model of relentless execution. In moments of temptation to excuse yourself, remember the stakes. Your legacy, your impact, your own potential wasted. That clarity ignites determination. You choose action. One more rep, one more hour, one more push. Each victory over excuses compounds into confidence. Reinforcing the built different mindset. Today, declare war on excuses. Whenever that inner voice offers reasons to delay or avoid, you respond with decisive action. You don't wait for motivation, you enforce discipline. You don't ration effort, you give full measure. Excuses lose their power when confronted with unwavering resolve. This is how winners operate. No excuses, only execution. Every day you practice this, you fortify the unbreakable mindset. Each step forward undercuts the enemy of excuses, and your momentum grows unstoppable. Built different means you refuse the easy path and choose the path that forges greatness. Listen to me. Comfort is the killer of greatness. You weren't built for easy. You weren't designed to cruise. You were built for impact, for pressure, for obsession. And if you ever want to rise above average, you better stop chasing comfort and start chasing obsession. Built different means you don't wake up for pleasure. You wake up for purpose. You wake up with fire in your eyes, knowing this ain't about feeling good. It's about being great. And greatness requires sacrifice. Obsession over comfort means you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. It means you don't take breaks when it gets tough. You take ground. It means you've trained your mind to dominate your feelings, and your feelings no longer get a vote. That's the mindset of champions. Comfort says, sleep in. Obsession says, I've got work to do. Comfort says, one day. Obsession says, day one. Comfort says, what if I fail? Obsession says, what if I never try? Let me tell you what obsession really is. It's waking up at 4 a.m., not because you have to, but because your purpose won't let you sleep. It's training when no one's watching. It's studying when your friends are out. It's grinding when your body aches and your bank account is empty. But your vision is still loud and clear. Built different is more than motivation. It's execution. It's repetition. It's showing up every single day with the same intensity, with the same drive, with the same hunger, even when nobody's clapping for you. You gotta be obsessed with the process. The results come later, but the grind is today. And if you're not willing to trade comfort for consistency, you're not ready for success. Comfort will tell you you've done enough. You deserve to relax. But obsession says, I'm just getting started. That's why obsession wins. Because while comfort sleeps, obsession builds. While comfort waits, obsession works. While comfort dreams, obsession executes. And don't you confuse obsession with burnout. Obsession doesn't drain you. It drives you. It doesn't steal your energy. It becomes your energy. Why? Because you've locked in. Because you're focused on something bigger than your feelings. Success isn't for the most talented. It's for the most obsessed. You don't win because you kind of want it. You win because you need it. Because you crave growth more than ease. Because you would rather suffer now than regret later. That's obsession over comfort. You want to change your life? You want to build a legacy? Then write this into your DNA. Comfort is the enemy. Obsession is the path. Obsess over growth. Obsess over progress. Obsess over the discipline it takes to break the old version of you and step into the warrior you were born to be. This is how you separate yourself. This is how you dominate. This is how the built different live. Obsessed, unapologetic, unstoppable. Nobody's going to hand you success. Nobody's walking up to you with a crown saying you deserve this. Because in this life, it's not given, it's earned. Every ounce of respect, every win, every opportunity, you fight for it. You bleed for it. You grind for it. Built different means you stop waiting to be chosen. You stop looking for a handout. You start showing up like it's already yours. And then you work like hell to prove it. Understand something. The world doesn't care about your potential. It respects your production. You can have dreams, but if you don't execute, they die in your head. You could have talent, but if you don't show up, it means nothing. You can be the most gifted in the room, but if the next man works harder than you, he's taking your spot. See, the built different don't complain about what they don't have. They build with what they do have. They don't whine, they win, because they know the game is simple. You don't deserve it until you earn it. That grind, that discipline, that pain you feel when you're working long after others quit, that's the currency of success. And the only people who make it are the ones who pay in full. You gotta wake up every single day with the mindset, nobody owes me anything. I owe myself everything. I'm not waiting to be rescued. I'm showing the world what happens when you refuse to quit. Let me be clear. Your work ethic is louder than your words. Your hustle speaks volumes, even in silence, because results don't lie. You don't become legendary by accident. You earn that title through consistency, through sacrifice, through blood, sweat, and years of unseen effort. The built different don't chase attention. They chase excellence. They don't care who's watching because they're not grinding for applause. They're grinding for impact. Earned, not given, means you train when no one's cheering. You keep going when no one believes. You keep swinging when life hits hardest. And you keep rising, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to stay down. You gotta start seeing every rep, every early morning, every hard choice as a down payment on your dreams. You're building something that can't be bought. It must be built. Legacy isn't gifted. It's earned in the fire of failure, in the discipline of daily sacrifice, in the trenches where most people fold. But you rise. Stop asking, when will it happen? And start saying, I'm gonna make it happen. Because the truth is simple. If you want it, go earn it. Winners don't think like the rest. Winners are wired different. They don't hope, they decide. They don't wish, they work. They don't wait for opportunities, they create them. Because the mindset of a winner starts with one truth: I will not be denied. You see, average minds talk problems. Winner minds talk possibilities. While the world says maybe, the winner says, let's go. While the crowd says, I can't, the winner says, try me. This mindset isn't talent. It's training. It's built through adversity. It's forged in failure. It's strengthened every time life knocks you down, and you get up with fire in your eyes. A winner isn't someone who never loses. A winner is someone who never quits. Even when they fall 99 times, they get up 100, because the mission matters more than the moment. The winner's mind says, I might be tired, but I'm not done. I might be behind, but I'm not broken. I might be doubted, but I will not be denied. Winners don't focus on how they feel. They focus on what must be done. They don't look at the clock, they look at the goal, because the dream isn't up for negotiation, and the discipline isn't optional. Mindset of a winner equals laser focus. They block out distractions. They cancel excuses. They live with intention, not emotion. They don't let the pain stop them. They let it push them. You want to rise? You want to dominate? You want to leave a legacy? Then you better stop thinking like the crowd and start training your mind like a champion. Because here's the truth. The body follows the mind. If your mind is strong, your life will be unshakable. If your mind is committed, your hustle will never quit. If your mind is obsessed, your path becomes clear. Winning is a mindset, and it starts the moment you say, I was born for this. I will grind for this. I will never back down. Not today, not ever. That's how the built different move. That's how the great become legends. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They create perfect focus. They don't count losses. They collect lessons. They don't compete with others. They compete with their old self. And every day they wake up and say, I don't want to be better than anyone else. I want to be better than I was yesterday. So let this be your new standard. Let this be your DNA. No fear, no quit, no plan B. Only forward, only focused, only winning. That's the mindset of a winner. Let me break something down for you real quick. Motivation is a spark, but obsession is a fire that never goes out. Too many people wake up waiting to feel like it. They say, I'll grind when I'm motivated. No, winners don't wait for motivation. They move from obsession because motivation fades. It dies out when life gets heavy. It disappears when you're tired, broke, or broken. But obsession keeps going when motivation ran out weeks ago. If you want to be great, not good, not average, great, you need a level of obsession that scares the people around you. A hunger so deep, so unstoppable, that you don't care what day it is. You're locked in. You don't care if they understand. You were built for this. I don't want it sometimes. I want it all the time. I don't train when it's convenient. I train like it's life or death. That's obsession. Obsession means you show up even when you're tired, even when you failed, even when nobody believes you believe. Because this dream, it's in your bones. It's not a hobby. It's your purpose. Motivation asks, is it easy? Obsession asks, is it worth it? Motivation watches the clock. Obsession forgets there's a clock. Because when you're obsessed, time doesn't exist. The grind doesn't stop because you don't stop. You eat different. You think different. You breathe different. You're not interested in trying. You're obsessed with finishing. This isn't about hype. This is about alignment. Is your vision aligned with your actions? Are you showing up with the intensity that says, I don't care who's ahead. I'm catching them. I don't care how long it takes. I'm outlasting everyone. Obsession builds what motivation only dreams of. Obsession puts you in rooms talent alone could never access. Obsession gets you results the average never even imagined. So the next time you don't feel motivated, good. That's your cue to level up. That's your chance to tap into obsession. Because the built different don't wait for perfect energy. They create it from within. Let me leave you with this. When you become obsessed, success becomes a byproduct. Discipline becomes natural. Sacrifice becomes automatic. And quitting becomes impossible. Obsessed with the goal, obsessed with the grind, obsessed with becoming what you were born to be. That's how the real ones rise. Let's get one thing straight. You will never reach greatness choosing comfort. Success don't live in the soft zone. It lives in the sacrifice. Every legend you admire, they gave something up. Their time, their sleep, their ego, their distractions. Because they understood one thing. If I want something I've never had, I gotta become someone I've never been. And that requires sacrifice. Comfort whispers, take a break. Sacrifice roars, take a stand. Comfort says, you've done enough. Sacrifice says, you're just getting started. You want the dream? You want the breakthrough? Then you better be willing to lose a few things to gain everything. Sacrifice your excuses. Sacrifice your laziness. Sacrifice your distractions. Because every second you spend comfortable is a second you're falling behind. The world will try to sell you comfort. The world will try to distract you with instant pleasure. But you're built different. You ain't chasing comfort, you're chasing purpose. Listen to me. The greatest version of you is not found in your comfort zone. It's forged in the fire, in the 4 a.m. wake-ups, in the no days off grind, in the moments where everybody else quit and you kept going. Sacrifice is doing what needs to be done long after the feeling of motivation has left your body. And that's how champions rise. That's how kings are crowned. That's how legacies are built. So if you're serious, if you really want it like you say you do, give up the party, give up the comfort, give up the version of you that's addicted to average. Trade it all for focus. Trade it all for greatness. Trade it all for that moment when you look in the mirror and know you didn't cut corners, you didn't skip steps, you gave it everything. That's the difference between the talkers and the takers, the grinders, the obsessed, the ones who wake up every day and choose sacrifice because they'd rather suffer now than regret later. Sacrifice over comfort, legacy over luxury, purpose over pleasure. That's how you win. Look, this is where most people fold. This is where the boys get separated from the men. This is where the real ones rise and the talkers disappear. Because when it gets dark, when it gets quiet, you got two choices: lock in or lose. There is no middle ground, no plan B, no I'll try again next month. You're either laser focused or left behind. Everybody wants success, but not everybody wants to lock in. Locking in means saying no to everything that doesn't serve your purpose. Locking in means you're unavailable for distractions, unreachable to excuses, unshakable under pressure. You can't scroll your way to success. You can't party your way into purpose. You can't half step into your calling and expect full results. Lock-in means tunnel vision. It means I see nothing but the goal. It means early mornings, late nights, silent seasons, people not understanding your grind, and you don't care because you're locked in. When you're locked in, average don't attract you. Comfort don't tempt you. You got a mission. You got a why that keeps you going when your legs give out. Let me ask you this. Are you locked in on your purpose, or are you loyal to your distractions because somebody else is locked in right now, grinding in silence, outworking you, and you're playing around because it's hard? Hard, good. Let it be hard, because hard is where we grow. Hard is where we separate. Hard is where legends are born. Every time you want to quit, every time you want to scroll, slack, or disappear, you better say to yourself, if I don't lock in right now, I lose. You lose time. You lose progress. You lose momentum. And worst of all, you lose that version of yourself that was destined to win. So yeah, this is the warning shot. This is the moment. Lock in or lose everything you said you were working for. Lock in, zone in, go all in, because this ain't a game. This is your legacy. You think you're done. You think that was enough? Nah, you're just getting started. Because champions, they don't count the reps. They make the reps count. This ain't about how tired you are. This is about what's on the other side of tired. This is about pushing when everything in you screams quit. One more rep, one more round, one more step toward greatness. That's the difference. That's the standard. Anybody can go until they're uncomfortable, but the greats, they go until they're unstoppable. You do one more rep when your muscles are burning. You go one more round when your heart's about to explode, because the body gives out long after the mind does. And you've got a mind that refuses to die. Push past the pain, push past the doubt, push past your limit, and then redefine it. Because guess what? Your limit was a lie. They told you that was your max. It wasn't. You've got more in the tank, more grind, more heart, more fight. That's why we say one more, because every one more stacks. Every one more becomes who you are. You don't get stronger from what you do once. You get stronger from what you do again and again and again. Discipline is built one rep at a time. Resilience is built one round at a time. And legacy, that's built on every I'll do one more when everyone else won't. The battle's not won in the first round. It's won when you've got nothing left and you swing anyway. You want to be remembered? Then fight like every rep is your last. Work like every moment is your proving ground. Because the greats don't stop when they're done. They stop when they're proud, when they've given every ounce, when there's nothing left in the tank, So go again. Push again. One more rep. One more round. That's the edge. That's the separation. That's the mindset of a winner. You want to be remembered. You want that to speak your name with respect. You want to leave a legacy that echoes long after you're gone. Then earn it. Because nobody's handing it to you. Nobody's giving you respect because you want it. You earn your name in the dark. You earn your name when no one's watching. You earn your name when you bleed for your dream while others sleep on theirs. Don't ask the world to remember you. Give it a reason to. That name you carry, it means something. And if it doesn't yet, it's time to make it mean something. Jordan earned his name. Kobe earned his. E.T., Eric Thomas, he earned it. Through pain, through struggle, through relentless work. So what are you doing with your name? You see, it ain't about fame. It's about impact. It's about walking into the room and people feel your fire before you even speak. It's about building something with your life that nobody can take away. Your name becomes powerful when it's attached to excellence. When people hear it and think, grinder, warrior, unstoppable force. You earn that by what you do every single day. When you choose grind over comfort, discipline over distractions, sacrifice over safety. Your name will either inspire generations or vanish with excuses. You decide, right here, right now. When you get up early, when you train in the cold, when you stay consistent, when you serve others, when you refuse to quit, you carve that name into history. You want a legacy? Then wake up every morning and ask yourself, what am I doing today to earn my name? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you say you are. It's about what your work says you are. The name on your back means nothing if your grind doesn't back it up. So don't just live legend. Don't just exist impact. Don't just be remembered. Be respected. Earn it. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to knock on your door and hand you your dream. This isn't a fairy tale. This is your life. And your dream is your job, your vision, your responsibility, your goals, your burden to carry. You were given the dream because you were built to make it real. Stop waiting. Stop hoping someone else will believe in it first. Stop blaming your past, your family, your environment, because the dream doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. You don't get to complain about what you didn't get. If you're not working with everything you've got, this is the part nobody wants to hear. The dream is free, but the grind is not. And most people will give up because responsibility is heavy. But you're not most people. You're built different. You've got shoulders strong enough to carry this vision to the end. Every excuse you make is a brick in the wall between you and your future. So break that wall down with your effort, tear it down with your consistency, and build something new, one brick at a time, called results. You say you want success, then treat it like it's your job, because it is. Wake up every day and clock into your dream. No vacation, no off days, no quitting. Because hear this clearly. If your dream fails, it's on you. If it succeeds, it's because of you. You're the CEO of your future. Act like it. Show up like it. Sacrifice like it. Nobody else knows the fire in your chest. Nobody else hears the voice that says, I was born for more. That voice, that fire, it's not by accident. It's a signal, a reminder that your dream was hand-delivered to you, and now it's your move. So no more waiting, no more hoping, no more pointing fingers. Take ownership, take control, take full responsibility, because that's what greatness demands. And you didn't come this far to be average. You planned it, you dreamed it, you prayed over it. Now it's time to execute. Because ideas without execution, they're just fantasies, and nobody gets remembered for what they almost did. You either make it happen, or you watch it happen for someone else. You want it bad? Then prove it in your execution, not your thoughts, not your mood, not your hype, your action. The difference between people who talk and those who take over the game isn't talent. It's not money. It's not even luck. It's the ones who move while others wait. They didn't feel ready. They executed anyway. They were tired. They executed anyway. They were doubted. They executed anyway. Because execution ain't based on emotion. It's based on commitment. It's the soldier showing up to the front line even when he's wounded. This ain't a drill, it's your legacy on the line. Every decision you make today is a deposit into your future. Every time you show up and give it your all, you're pushing your name closer to greatness. This is about doing the work when it's not convenient, when it's not glamorous, when no one's watching, but you still give it everything. Because champions don't just show up, they execute under pressure. They deliver when it counts. They finish what they started. You want a different life? Then you gotta stop living like everyone else. While they sleep, you grind. While they party, you execute. While they make excuses, you build results. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your execution. So this is your moment, your wake-up call, your line in the sand. No more someday, no more talking, no more waiting for permission. Execute like your life depends on it, because it does. Everybody wants the success, but nobody wants the struggle that builds it. They want the crown, but they don't want the pain that forges a king. Let me break something down for you real quick. Your struggle is not your weakness, it's your weapon. The pain you've been through, it's teaching you resilience. The rejection you faced, it's carving out your hunger. The sleepless nights, they're forming a mind that won't fold under pressure. See, struggle is the training ground of the greats. It's the boot camp of champions. You don't level up without resistance. You don't build greatness without grind. You think Eric Thomas became who he is without struggle? Homeless, eating out of trash cans. That pain, that story, that's what gave his voice power. So stop running from what's hard. Stop wishing your story was easier. Because you're not supposed to escape the fire. You're supposed to walk through it and come out with fuel. Diamonds only form under pressure. Legends only rise from chaos. Your scars are proof that you didn't quit. Whatever broke you, built you. Whatever tested you, taught you. Whatever tried to destroy you, only gave you a deeper reason to rise. The very thing you thought would disqualify you might be the exact thing that makes people listen. Your pain has purpose. Your setbacks have power. And if you're brave enough to keep moving through the storm, you'll find out one day it was preparing you for the spotlight. Because the world doesn't follow comfort. They follow the ones who made it through hell and refuse to bow. So embrace your struggle, harness your pain, turn your past into a platform, because that's where your real strength lives. Your story is somebody else's survival guide, but only if you're bold enough to own it. You're not a victim. You're a warrior in training. You've already come too far to quit now. Let your struggle be your superpower. You think you've got time? You think you can wait till next week? Next year? When you feel ready? Let me hit you with truth. You're already on the clock. Every second that passes is a second closer to your deadline. Your dream has an expiration date. Your potential has a timer. You don't have forever. You have right now. Right now is the only guarantee you've got. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when you get motivated. Right now is the only shot that's promised. And every time you procrastinate, you hand your dream to someone else who's moving while you sleep. Let that sink in. There's someone out there with less talent, less opportunity, less support, but they are gonna win because they respected the clock more than you did. Time waits for no man. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't pause when you're tired. It doesn't rewind when you regret wasting it. You can't download more time. You can only decide how to spend what you've got. And right now, this minute, you're either building your dream or burying it. You want to be great? Then treat time like your most valuable asset. Not your entertainment, not your comfort zone, not your backup plan. Every minute, you're either getting closer to your goals or you're letting them slip away. So make a choice. Keep sleeping on your vision, or wake up and race the clock like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. They laughed at you. They doubted you. They told you to be realistic. They said your dreams were too big. Your goals were impossible, that you weren't enough. But what they didn't know was this. You weren't built to follow blueprints. You were built to break them. You're not here to fit in. You're here to build what's never been built. Every time they counted you out, they forgot you were doing reps in the dark, grinding in silence, working with no applause, sacrificing while they were sleeping. You weren't asking for permission. You were building a legacy. They said you'd never make it? Good. Now make it your mission to prove them wrong with results. Let their doubt be your drive. Let their disbelief be your fuel. Because here's what you already know deep down. You don't need them to believe in your dream. You just need to build it anyway. You don't need their validation. You need your vision. You don't need the spotlight. You need the work ethic when no one's watching. You don't need a cheering crowd. You need that inner fire that refuses to die. When you're broke, tired, alone, and overlooked, they won't understand what you're building until it's standing tall in front of them, until the empire is real, until the success is too loud to ignore. And when they ask how you did it, you'll smile and say, brick by brick, doubt by doubt, I built what they said I never could. Because you are chasing comfort. You were chasing your calling. You weren't trying to fit in. You were born to stand out. And now they'll remember your name, not because you followed the path, but because you created one. So build it, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many no's you hear, no matter how lonely the road gets. Build what they said you never could, and never look back. Let me ask you something real. What are they going to say about you when you're gone? Not your followers, not your likes, not your highlight reel. I'm talking about the real you, the story you leave behind, the impact you made when nobody was watching. Because listen, money fades, fame disappears, but legacy is eternal. Legacy is built in silence. It's built when you show up, tired, broke, doubted, and grind anyway. You want to be remembered? Then stop chasing applause and start chasing purpose. Legacy starts with every decision you make today. Not tomorrow, not when it's easy. Now. It starts when you say, I'm not just working for me. I'm building something that lives beyond me. You think you need more motivation? No, you need more conviction. Because the world ain't moved by your goals. It's moved by your grit. And if you think legacy is about a name on a wall or a million views, you're playing the wrong game. Legacy is your kid watching you never quit. It's the stranger inspired by your discipline. It's the ripple effect of your obedience to purpose. You don't get legacy from comfort. You get it from commitment. So ask yourself, are you planting seeds that'll outlive you? Or are you just burning energy for likes? Because at the end of this life, nobody remembers how loud you talked. They remember what you built. And right now, right here, you've got the chance to write that story, to shift the direction of generations, to turn your pain into power, your sacrifice into significance. This is the moment. Not next year, not when it's perfect, now. Because your legacy, it starts today, it starts with you, and it starts right now. So rise up, walk in purpose, and leave a mark they'll never forget. You didn't survive all that pain to quit at the finish line. You didn't crawl through darkness just to stop in the light. This is it, the final hour, the last chapter, the final round. And champions don't slow down here. They go harder. Right now, it's not about how you feel. It's about what you've committed to. You sacrificed sleep. You've buried distractions. You've worked in silence while others laughed. Now it's time to cash in. No more second guessing. No more waiting for signs. No more looking back. This is your moment, your name, your blood, your legacy. So don't hesitate, dominate. Don't whisper, roar. Every second is yours to command. And I promise you this, if you finish what you started, if you give this last stretch everything inside you, you will rise from the shadows, and the world will know your name. This is your time. Now go write your legacy.